Everyone's faced this one grueling question before. How do you find your mission, your vision? A vision that gets you committed like some hero in a movie, one that makes you proud on your deathbed. Listen, I was completely in the mess. I had zero clue how to even approach finding my purpose, my calling. And look, I know it's gonna sound corny. I found mine, and I won't put you out of the misery of not knowing yours. Sit down. Story time. The greatest artsman ever was just as restless as a speck of dust in a sandstorm. See, this wonder kid was bowed to by every fellow artsman. None of them could deny his brilliance because he truly was the brush of God. But he was puzzlingly layered. You couldn't call him the greatest artist ever, even though he knew, everyone knew he was. See, he would start a piece, jaws completely dropping, and then by the time he'd get to the neck, he's off. Something else has caught his interest. He's probably sitting somewhere staring at a stream of water or how light reflects off dust particles in his studio. And look, now he's gotten old and he's so frustrated because the world wants him for his art. But he doesn't just want that. No, he wants something more. But what? He's accepted as the most talented painter ever. He knows it, but he doesn't want just that. So he puffs his chest out and writes a very, very bold letter to the Duke of Milan. He says, I'll design your war catapults. I'll design you portable bridges, giant bows to use for your damn wars. And that is when he hits an epiphany. Hey, I don't have to separate the complex, monotone world of mechanics from the delicate, flowy world of art. He isn't just a painter. He's a man set out to understand the intricate mechanics God has made. This man is Leonardo da Vinci. The purposeless, unfocused boy was always focused. He always had a purpose, just not what society wanted from him. And his purpose was one of the most revolutionary phases the world of art has ever seen. And look, the thing is, we're completely lost in the mist when it comes to finding our purpose, our meaning. And the only reason that is, all advice on it, it's completely redundant bullshit. That's why we have no idea what cause, what movement will make. I know what I will, and I'm gonna show you how I found that. Come on. I cut the fluff. Here's what you really need to answer. Put all social peer pressure aside when you're answering this. Notice how it feels when you help others and yourself. And deep inside, which makes you feel better. Once you have the answer to that, then you ask the hardest, trickiest question. How will he help? Whether it's others or yourself, how will he help? Once you have the answer to that, you need to keep asking yourself how, and you funnel the main image into a small, actionable step that you can perform right now. But how do you answer that first, how will I help? Well, here's what you do. First of all, do not look at what you're good at or what the market wants, because that is when you start wrapping your purpose around other people's desires, and then, trust me, it will all fall apart. So here's what you want to do. List the main duties and actions that when you perform, they make you feel satisfied and complete with yourself. Compile them in a brief vertical list, and then in front of each one of those actions, you want to write the main characteristics it takes to perform it. Let me show you an example. Let's say a person's list is helping the homeless, talking to people, pitching ideas, creating systems to solve complex problems, and persuading people. In front of each one of those, we'll write the main characteristics it takes to perform that. Helping the homeless, it takes generosity. Talking to people, it takes showmanship and socialism. Pitching ideas, once again, it takes showmanship, it takes salesmanship, it takes a touch of generosity, and it takes creativity. Then creating systems to solve problems, it takes creative, mechanical thinking. And finally, persuading people. It takes showmanship, leadership, generosity, and it takes salesmanship. Now, out of all of these characteristics, we want to write out the common ones. Here, there'll be generosity, showmanship, salesmanship, creative thinking. Now, once we have these characteristics, we have the main guideposts it will take to find this person's purpose. Here's what we do. Now we go back to the very first question. Do they want to help themselves or they want to help others? Let's say for the example, this person wants to help others. So then we look at what skill they have, which they enjoy using the most. Let's say for example, it's salesmanship. So now we write their purpose line. Let's look at this. This person would be a salesman who's a generous, creatively thinking showman. That's just the purpose line. That's just the base we need to answer that question, the answer that first how. Then we ask ourselves, what can a salesman who's a generous, creatively thinking showman do to help, in this case, others? And that is how we get our first and most pivotal how. After that, we just keep asking ourselves, how are we going to do that? How are we going to do that? How are we going to do that? Until we get an actionable step to commit to this very moment. God, this took me so much effort to make. I swear to God, I've been up till 2-3 a.m. since the 29th of December. I even skipped any New Year plans to make this framework, but I'm very proud of it. I'm very happy with this framework. I could write a damn book on this, I swear to God, but my purpose, it stems around helping others. So I'm trying to cash out on this, but I really, really hope this extinguishes the agony you have of not knowing your purpose when you see people all around you being so committed to theirs. If you think I made any mistake or left anything out, please tell me in the comments. I'll make a version 2. This has nothing to do with ego. I'm just trying to help people out. Okay?